Good evening. I hope all of you are doing well and thanks for joining. So, we have a great session ahead of us. It's going to be another hour from now that we have session. And we have two esteemed panelists with us. So, we have Dr. Madhvi Ma'am, who is Program Chairperson of MBA at NMIMS. She has 30 plus years of experience in teaching and she has done a PhD in Humanities and Social Sciences from IIT Bombay. Her expertise and research interest is in exploring literary classics to teach concepts of leadership and communication to B-school students and doctor-patient communication during bad news delivery. And we also have Swapnil ma'am with us, who is Associate Director of Product Management at Gmac. She's a seasoned professional with more than 23 years of experience in education delivery, operations management, product management, instructional design, and content management. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a discussion on NMIMS and NMAT. We'll be starting with NMIMS. So the initial 20 odd minutes will be a discussion on that. Post which we'll talk about NMAT for 20 minutes. And the last 20 minutes is going to be Q&A. So I'll ask students to reserve their questions for the last 20 minutes or so. If you want, you can always drop in your questions in the Q&A box, but we'll be answering those questions towards the end of the session. So let's get started and over to you, Man.
All right, so this is about NMIMS deemed to be university, and I'm the professor in the area of communications and the program chairperson for School of Business Management, NMIMS, for the Mumbai campus. Now, first of all, why an MBA? So I'll go through this very quickly because if you are here, you've already made an informed decision. I'll just help you reinforce it. So especially in NMIMS, we offer a kind of crystallized learning experience because it's a one-stop kind of destination for a variety of profiles where your peers are into marketing, finance, operations, general management, and of course data sciences, which is the new topic that is sought after. So when you enter an MBA course, you get a kind of distilled wisdom from veterans in the field. And I'm not just talking about faculty, because here we have a lot of industry academy interaction. What you also get when you do an MBA is a certain amount of cross-functional skill sets. What I'm guessing is out of these 195, 96 now people I'm talking to, most of you, if I go by experience of the last few years, come from an engineering background. Some of you are commerce students, some of you have done your BBA, some of you may even be MBBS, right? We've had those as well. Now, when you come to an MBA, you learn something very precious across domains. And that something very precious is a whole host of skill sets. So you learn the ropes of doing business in terms of finance, in terms of marketing, in terms of general management topics. And not just that, we also have a very enriching experience in HR and OB subjects, as well as soft skills in the area of communication. So everything that is designed to make you a versatile professional across verticals. And that's where an MBA helps you. The most satisfying thing about being in an MBA classroom is learning from your peers, and they come from a wide set of domains. And we have something called a group learning experience in SBM, where we use an algorithm to create diverse groups. So in your group, we have diversity, we have a gender balance, we have people from different backgrounds. So when you're given something to do, when you're given a task, to put it in very simple terms, you have people of very different experiences and backgrounds coming together to perform that task. And that's a kind of real life simulation, something like a microcosm of the outside world. So when you go out into the outside world and you have to work with teams that are very diverse in terms of demographics and psychographics, an MBA course actually preps you to be a very, very informed and authentic participant in the same experience. All right. And these are peer networks that you can leverage for your corporate experience later on. So people you work with might just happen to be your peers in later on in life. They might participate with you in your startup ventures. They might even end up as your subordinates or your bosses, I am told. All right. So that's a very enthralling experience that even our alumni will share with you going ahead. And typically, you want to fast track your career. You've spent, say, for instance, 3 4 years in a kind of company that gives you, yes, a good learning curve, but you're thirsting for more. And the best way to do is to pole vault your career ambitions through an MBA. So I hope I've made my point clear from that aspect. Now coming to why NMIMS. So very proudly, may I say that this is a category 1 university in India. We have a NAC accreditation with 3.59 CGPA on a 4-point scale. We have veterans from top national and global institutes and very, very strong industry linkages. So we have a variety of student cells which cater to your learning thirst from corporate czars and who's who in the industry. We have eminent luminaries coming and talking to you, addressing you. Our students host seminars. We have a lot of student projects and corporate projects going on. So the industry linkages is what really buoys and sustains that experience. So academic quality, yes. Research focus, yes. Great career from a recognized platform with a rich legacy of 40 years, 750 plus faculty members. We are spread across campuses in India and 17 specialized schools. So that is an eagle's eye view of the NMIMS deemed to be university. Just recently, we broke into the top 100 in the Financial Times ranking, the UK Financial Times, in the top 100 global B schools, and we are the highest in the world in terms of diversity and gender distribution, 54% of female faculty. And very good feedback from alumni based on their experience in NMIMS SDM. So, other rankings and accreditation, of course, I mentioned NAC, then Category 1 University, a trusted brand in IRF rankings, NBA, as well as the AICTE recognition for these campuses, as you see on your screen. And we have also the AACSB accreditation. Even as I speak, we are gearing up for another accreditation visit next year from a very reputed platform, and also the AMBA accreditation. And of course, SACS. So what do we have to offer you? MBA Core is our flagship program, as I just mentioned, and we also have MBA HR, MBA Pharma, which is a very evolving, growing kind of offering. Recently, we started MBA in Real Estate Management, MBA Law. Just this year, our newest kid on the block is MBA Healthcare Management, MBA Digital Transformation, part-time MBA for executives, and MBA Social Entrepreneurship. So let me talk about how we devise learning goals for you via the curriculum. Now, these have been actually created, curated through several brainstorming sessions. The first one is an understanding of the dynamics that shape global business today, because we are not just local, we are not just local, we are now global. Critical thinking skills, first and foremost, is the skill set that employers want you to develop for various scenarios and problems. And of course, an integrative approach to decision making and problem solving. In today's world, it's not just enough to be a manager. Now, that's actually a very transactional role to play. If you want to cope with the future workplace, you have to have digital fluency and digital literacy. Luckily for you, you are digital natives, unlike us baby boomers who are digital immigrants. So, for you to develop and grow with quantum leaps, just as the world is growing, you need to develop technological orientation. So, which is why we have included this just recently in our PLOs, or the program learning outcomes. Effective communication skills, not just communication skills, but effective communication skills. So, we have in our program several courses that help you come across as an effective communicator. And of course, what goes hand in hand with good communication skills and versatile skill sets is leadership and interpersonal skills. If you want to continue your journey along the leadership curve, and in keeping with SDGs, an understanding of ESG challenges impacting business. This is not the time and this is not the forum to elaborate on this, but you would know obviously how important environmental concerns are, how important sustainability is. And we're not just thinking of profit, we're thinking of people, we're thinking of the planet. And that is how we develop socially responsible managers at NMIMS. In our pursuit of excellence, there are certain processes that we follow. So when I say area, I'm talking about a department, right? So there's a lot of brainstorming that happens at the area level to find out what is it that we can offer our students in order to stay relevant and updated and prepare them for their future life and career. And we have, for this, we also have continual interaction with experts from industry. So for instance, we have a board of studies, like many institutes do, but we try to have conversations even outside those routine meetings that we have generally. And then we develop what are known as CLOs, that is course learning outcomes, which are then mapped to the program learning outcomes that I displayed to you in the earlier slide. Now, there's something very interesting called assurance of learning instruments. So we see to it that we develop rubrics or frameworks for our evaluation. So evaluation in a management program is not subjective. It is very, very objective. It is a scientific approach, and it gives you feedback. And feedback, they say, is the food of champions. And then at the end of the academic year, we assess whether expectations were met. And our expectations are very tall, mind you. So 65% of our expectations, if they are not met, then we go back to the table, do the blueprint again, redraw the map, keep focusing on what needs to be done, change it, modify it, tweak it, and then you have a new plan ready for the next academic year. And this is a continuous process. And of course, then we recommend further improvements. So that happens at the area level, then comes to the program level, and then to the AOL committee, and from there to the university academic council. So this is just a process that I'm outlining. What I'm trying to say out here is that nothing is left to chance. We do this with great deliberation and very, very systematically. And it's fun to be part of this enriching experience. So how do we stay relevant? If you choose to study in a B school, you need a lot more than the classroom experience. So which is where we have tried to strengthen ourselves in a variety of areas. They are all there out for you to see. So research projects taken up by various schools across campuses with many industry and professional bodies. Our faculty write cases in collaboration with corporate professionals, and it's really an aha moment for both stakeholders concerned when the faculty discuss their own cases in class. And of course, I spoke about live corporate projects by students, case competitions. Our students have done very well in the last 7 or 8 years. Even during the pandemic, they have shown on the international marquee with a lot of prestigious awards won in business case competitions. Our faculty does a whole lot of management development programs. So when we do these management development programs, there's a lot of give and take. So we bring back that corporate learning into the classroom and then loop it back into our learning systems, and the circle is complete. Faculty also undertakes consultancy projects, and there's a lot of learning and give and take there as well. And as I earlier explained, there's regular revision and updating of the curricula to meet the needs of evolving business environment. Just to give you an example, we have a course called Business Analytics. We have introduced something called research methodology in marketing. So we try to zoom in onto what is required and then hone it so that it becomes relevant for you. These are our recruiters. Yes. So placements is, of course, very important, an important part of the MBA experience. So here is our list of recruiters, and of course, all the information is available on the website. You can see for yourself, and as you can see for yourself, that there are conglomerates from different domains. So it's not just FMCGs; it would be public enterprises, private enterprises across a whole lot of verticals. Life at NMIMS SBM Mumbai campus is very vibrant. So if you have any questions about the kind of culture that we have here, people learn a lot outside the classroom as well. So we have cells that have cultural experiences for you, from performing arts, from literature to dramatics to singing, acting, dancing, etc. So the 2 years are jam packed. You do not know how the months fly by, and before you know it, it's convocation day, right? So this is a glimpse of the Mumbai campus. Busy city, but this building is very well structured to accommodate and give you an one of the best experiences that you can have going back to school. And we are spread across India. This is the Bengaluru campus, the Hyderabad campus, the Navi Mumbai campus, and the Indore campus. Right? So that's it from my side.
We'll now start with the discussion on NMAT, and over to you, Sophia.
Thank you, Prasad. Um, Good evening, everyone, and very warm welcome to all of you at this platform. So today, with the help of my presentation, I will try to make you familiar or a little more familiar with the NMAT exam. The whole presentation is, as in the beginning, Prasad mentioned, that duration will be 15 to 20 minutes, but it is divided into 3 parts. First, what is the structure of NMAT by Gmac assessment? Then the second part will be how you can, or how any candidate can register on the website and can schedule the test for themselves, and then how Gmac helps students if they want to prepare for NMAT. As NMAT by Gmac is famous, the always you will see everybody talking about it is very candidate friendly exam, and that is true. So in my subsequent slides, I will be explaining how it is. So first thing which I will be talking about is Nmat features. I will spend some decent 1 or 2 minutes or maybe a little more time over here, because this is the whole Nmat, you can say, Nmat assessment. So as some points mentioned over here, that it is very easy to do the registration and scheduling of the exam here. It is hassle-free registrations, very simple registration form, which is asking from candidates their details, thorough details definitely, and after making payment, the candidates can schedule their exam based on the slots available. And it is not, the exam does not happen on one day or one given particular date of any date of any year. We open the window for some specific duration. So this time duration for starting the exam, to give the exam, is starting from 10th of October and it will be ending on 19th of December. So based on your availability, your readiness, and whatever other circumstances over there, you can schedule the exam as per your choice and in the given slots, the slots which are available over there. And there is a flexibility with the security. You can select, while you will be selecting that how you would like to give the exam. You would like to give it at test center. There are some 76 test centers right now this year, and in 73 cities. All the list is there on the website. You can very well choose whatever is the nearest test center in your area, or you want to take an online test based on the feasibility, but that will be completely proctored exam, and very well secured. And structure of the exam is there are 3 sections. All 3 sections have similar weightage. There is no negative marking. And when you start your exam at the time, there's a flexibility, the biggest flexibility given over there, that you can choose as a candidate, as a student, you can choose which section I want to appear for first. Depends on your choice. You may want to go for quant, because at times some student, those who are very good at quant, they may like to start their exam with quant, because they would like to finish that fast and they are very confident. Some may are very good in language, they may like to start with language, or it can be vice versa. Like, I'm not very good in language, but let me finish the language piece first, and then only I will move to the quant and the reasoning. So it all depends on the candidate, uh, the way the candidate wish to choose the section. Scores, you can see the scores immediately. The moment you have submitted the exam, you can see the scores, and you can download the scores after 48 hours, after some audits and all. And then after 48 hours, the score will be available and you will be able to download it. While you are filling up your registration form and scheduling your test, paying your fee for the test, at the time you can select the schools the schools and the programs to whom you would like to send your scores automatically. So the moment you have given exam, because at the time of registration you have selected the schools. Okay, I want to send it to NM, I want to send it to TAPME, or I want to send it to XYZ, whatever. There is a huge list of schools who are accepting NMAT exam. 5 exams are free, means there is no extra charge for selecting those schools. We will send the scores. Beyond 5, if you want to send, then yes, there is a fee applicable. At times it happens, like while you are filling up the registration form, you have hypothetically, I'll just give an example. Suppose you have taken a date of 15th of October, that okay, fine, on 15th of October in X time I will be appearing for the exam. You have scheduled the test like that, but later on something came up in your family, in your life, which is equally important. So the flexibility over here is you can reschedule the test for some another time or some another date based on your availability or your choice. Although that this feature also comes that there is some price attached to this, because already blocking a seat for you and then releasing a seat for you, so that makes little life complex for us. But yes, for a student, it's not that I have scheduled the test for 15th of October at 2 p.m., but because of some reason I am unable to take that test and then I am missing the bus. No, not at all. You can, within that window, 10th October to 19th October, you can do that. There are 3 attempts. NMAT by Gmac allows you to take 3 attempts to improve your score. And there are many resources. There is an official guide, there is a prep exam, which you can give before giving the main attempt. So this is how NMAT actually has all the features, which very, very flexible, very, very easy, very, very candidate friendly. That's why it is called very, very candidate friendly exam. So exam structure is like this. As I told you, we have 3 sections: language, quant, and logical reasoning. Number of questions are same. Timings are different. However, total time for all 3 sections is 120 minutes. Total questions will be 108, and the score range will be 36 to 360. And the topics all of you definitely would be aware about in language: reading comprehension, error identification, sentence completion. Logical has analytical puzzles, deduction, critical reasoning, quant, arithmetics, algebra, probability. So many. There's a huge list. So the important thing is here, number of questions are same, but duration, time given is different, but the score range is same for each section. The same thing which we have already spoken. Important thing, there is no negative marking. If you have attempted any question and then the answer was wrong, there is no negative marking. I would like to tell you here that you can choose the sequence of the sections, whichever you in which you would like to give your exam. Once you have chosen the sequence, you cannot change the section sequence. And once you have started the exam and you have attempted first question, you move to second or third, you cannot go back and review the questions. This is very important for you to understand. And it will not allow you to move to the next question until unless you are not attempting this question which is visible on your screen. You have to attempt it, wrong or right. If it is wrong, there is no negative marking. If it is right, then you will get the marks. So as on the screen you can see, there are some important dates and given over here. So registrations already started from 1st of August and they will be closing on 10th of October. Once you have registered yourself, you can do the scheduling for your test. You register and then you schedule the test. Scheduling also, the moment you start registration, the same way the scheduling is also started, but it will be ending. Those people who are registering themselves on 10th of October, we are giving them a window of some 3 days so that they can schedule their test. So till 13th of October, you can schedule your test. But I will request you to schedule it fast earlier. The moment you're registering, please schedule it, because there are specific slots and first come first serve basis, the slots are filling fast. You can reschedule also, because last exam will happen, the last slot is on Monday 19th of December. So rescheduling of the exam will be allowed only till 16th of December, not after that. And exam, you can start giving your exam from 10th October to 19th of December based on your preparation. If you want to take retake, you can, registration of the retake will open from 11th of October, because you can take exam. Suppose I have registered now today, and I have taken my exam first main attempt on 10th of October and I didn't score great, and I feel no, I should take a retake also. So on 11th October, we can, from 11th October onwards, I can register for retake, but retake exam you can give only after 15 days of the main attempt exam. So the first attempt, the day you are giving the first attempt, only after 15 days of that you can give the second attempt. So there has to be 15 days gap, but registration will open for that on from 11th of October itself. Fee is 2,800 and the taxes. Retake also, because it is the exam, same exam. As I told you, for the 5 schools, whatever schools you will choose while filling up your registration form, the scores will be sent directly to those schools. But beyond 5, there is 300 rupees per score report plus applicable taxes. And if in case you schedule your test and then you have to reschedule due to some unavoidable circumstances, then there is a fee for that, that is 1,200 rupees plus applicable taxes. Okay, as I told you already, there is the exam test center. You can, there's 76 exam centers in 73 cities. You can click on mba.com/exams/nmat and you can read everything about nmat, the test center list, the city list, and everything about online and test centers. So my request is, please go to the website and study yourself, understand yourself where and how you would like to appear for the exam. As I told you, the entire presentation will be divided into 3 parts. So first part is over, which was what is NMAT and how NMAT is, what are the features of NMAT. Now, if as a candidate you have to do the registration and scheduling, as I told you, the form is very, very simple. You can register on mba.com/nmat and fill the form. You can choose that where you would like to give the test center or online proctor, pay your exam fee. If you have chosen the test center, then schedule the test, select the city and the test center, because there are few cities there where more than one test center is available, like Mumbai, all the metros, Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, Hyderabad, Bangalore, they have more than one test centers. So you can select the test center which is near to your place or as per your feasibility. Then you will log into your NMAT account. In case you have to reschedule, you can reschedule it. Otherwise, you schedule the test, and on the test, on the day of the test, you log in and you attempt the test. Same way for the retake also, the same process goes. And you will be keep getting the mails which will be talking about your, the link which you they will be confirming your email, because the email which you have given over there will be the primary email ID onto which all the communication will be happening with the candidate. Those who want to do or who wants to go for online exam. So as I told you that you go to mba.com/nmat, you will do the registration over there, and then you can schedule for online. And there is a link given over there that what photo identification you will use at the time of exam. So you have to choose from the list of that okay, this is the identification ID government ID I will be using at the time of my exam. Then you have to show the same ID to the proctor. You cannot change at that time. So, and there's a proper guidelines given over there, and I would request you guys to please go at the website and read all these things. And it will be asking 3 security questions also, because one of the security question will be asked during when you will start the exam online. You have to enter your first name, last name very carefully, no spaces or capital letters. You have to read the what I should say, the information given on your screen on the form itself very carefully, because things are very, very easy, not difficult at all. But read them carefully and fill your form. And you have to choose the date and time when you would like to take the exam, and you will get the confirmation mail. As I told you, there are some social distancing norms you will be following if you are going to. As I told you, whatever is there is a list of IDs, which government IDs, which are applicable. If you are going to the test center, you have to select that, and please carry that ID and or the required documents. If you are going and you have selected the test center as your choice where you would like to go and give the exam, please reach there at least 45 minutes before the exam and go with your ID, whatever government ID you have selected. And there will be there, because the test center will be checking the documents. They will be verifying that you are the same candidate who has filled the form. Your photograph will be taken, your signature will be captured. So they will be matching your signature from the government ID. And then only, and they will provide you the rough sheets, and then proctor will enable the exam. And one important thing I would like to tell you here, when the exam will start, there will be one non-disclosure agreement screen will come, and that screen comes on your, that maximum time, that screen can be there for some 1.5 minutes over there. If you have to select, okay, I agree, then only your exam will start. If you are not selecting that and not taking any action, after 1.5 minutes, the system assumes that you are not ready to give this NDA. Then your exam will be cancelled. So please be very, very careful. That NDA screen will come. Read that after 1.5 minutes. Click on I accept and start the exam. Choose the sections and then start the exam. Almost similar way things will happen if you have chosen the online way to give the exam. But little difference over here is when you are registering and you want to give online exam sitting at your place, but you should check your system, the laptop on which you would like to give the exam, so that whether your laptop has all the required software or it can run through the secure browser or not. So there at our NMAT website, nba.com/nmat website, there is a link which allows you to download some a secure browser, and you can check whether your laptop is having all those required software and the bandwidth and everything, and it will allow you to run that secure browser, which will take you to the exam. That's very, very important. If you have not done that checking and you are opening that exam link directly, then it may cause you some problem. So you have to check everything, whatever list of the requirement given for the online exam. Proctor will check your ID because you are sitting at home. Everything will be checked in 360-degree view via webcam, and then only your exam will start. So as I told you, you can take a demo test for online mode. This is available on NMAT website. You can check whether your system is compatible to the secure browser, and you can take the test online. So now, how Gmac can help you to prepare? I'm sure when you are coming and you are preparing yourself to get, you take admission in any of the business schools, you are preparing for many competitive exams. But still, for NMAT specifically, how you can prepare and how Gmac can help you for that. We have the official guide, which is available on Amazon. It is available in Kindle also. You can go through the questions which are given in the official guide, practice them, and then you can take the prep. So there's an official guide, and then there is a prep. So one free online practice exam is there on the website, which has 108 past NMAT exams. And this one free online practice exam means it will allow you to give 2 attempts. So twice you can take it. Okay. If you feel, no, I still am not so confident and I need to prepare more, you study again, you prepare yourself, and you can take 2 paid practice exams. In each paid practice exam, you can give twice, you can attempt the practice exam twice. That means total any candidate can attempt or can take this prep exam 6 times. One, which is free, one means it has 2 attempts, and then 2 paid practice exams, that means it has 4 attempts in that. And there is an official guide, as I told you, which is available in ebook and hard copy. You can order, you can prepare. So many, almost 60 schools, business schools, who are accepting NMAT scores. Recent edition was 3 months ago, was Tapmi into that. And NM and AIM Philippines, they are the schools who take NMAT score only to register their candidates for their management program. So this list is long. However, I have shown only few over here. And with this, I would like to thank you all, and then we will be opening the house for question and answer.
That presentation. I think students have got a fair idea of how the entire process works for NMAT. So what we'll do is we'll take questions now. I'll be reading out the questions and then directing it to you. Let's start with a question for Madhvi ma'am. And this is a question which is related to placements. The question is from Vivek. So other than placements, what kind of roles are offered post MBA completion and internship? So you can share some insights on that.
What kinds of roles?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is information that we generally do not share on a public platform, because we have a confidentiality arrangement with our recruiters. So, I mean, if there are discussion forums where peers could help, that would be fine, but not for me to disclose this information.
Okay, and I think for the benefit of all the students, you can always go through the placement report, which talks about what recruiters are visiting the campus and what sort of average packages are being offered. All of that information, which is already publicly available, we would encourage students to go to the website and have a look at that. Another question for you, ma'am, on the front of freshers. So there was a question related to how do you evaluate freshers, the profile of the candidates, and so on.
At entry level, you mean?
Yes.
Okay, so typically we do not really segregate our candidates along those lines. It's just that we see whether this person is ready for the rigors of an MBA program. All right, so we even if the student is a fresher, he or she may have a very good academic track record and good extracurricular activities, has a well-rounded personality, has diverse interests, does well in the interview. So that's enough for us to go by. So it's not as if, although there are certain criteria for people who have work experience, it does not necessarily work against freshers, or we do not really look at them differently. So freshers need not feel that they are at a disadvantage.
Right. There's a question on NMAT. So to Swapnil ma'am, can we modify the preferences that they have given? So in the NMAT form, when they select 5 college preferences, and after they've submitted, can they modify those preferences?
No. Once submitted, it's submitted.
Yeah, but they can always add preferences if
they can add, but they cannot modify.
Okay.
You can definitely add, not an issue.
Okay. So there's a question from Madhvi, ma'am. There's a question from Mihir. How academics are important for NMIMS? So when you are doing the selection of candidates, what are the weightages for the academic background, so 10, 12 graduation scores?
Okay, so every year we kind of do a review of what weightage we would like to give, and that is a management decision, right? But of course, academics carry a lot of weight, but that's not just in terms of numericals. It's, of course, we give importance to marks, but there's always weightage to other factors like the performance in the interview, etc. So uh, we do not, it's about a kind of evaluation of the candidate from all points of view. The NMAT score itself, of course, is a big criterion, and post the review, the management may think differently about evaluation along different fronts. So I cannot put a figure on the table right now as to how much for academics, how much for this, and how much for that.
Right. There was a question on NMAT regarding slots availability. So is there any particular frequency at which you open the slots for NMAT? Or because a lot of students are trying to book slots right now, but they're not able to find the slot of their choice. Is there anything? So a lot of people want to take it in December. That's what I was hinting at.
Yeah, so that's what the slots are open from 10th of October till 19th of December. I would request the students to choose in November and October also, because it's not that we are going to open more slots. We have, I guess we have opened almost somewhere around 85 to 90% slots already opened. So hardly some 10% more slots will be coming. So they should, and there are slots available in October and November. So please don't wait for December. You can choose from November and October.
Okay. Another question on NMAT regarding the scoring mechanism. So if you would like to share some thoughts on how the scoring is done, whether the questions have equal marks.
No, different question may have the different marks, but each section has a same score. Number of questions are same, scoring is same, and there is a proper algorithm which is very, very complex and does not make any sense to discuss it at this platform, because for a student, for a candidate, it's a question and you have to attempt it. If you have attempted well, you will get the score. If you have attempted wrong, you will not lose any score. There is no negative mark. But yes, each question, different questions may have different score. It's not like that all questions are for 1 mark or all questions are for 2 marks or 4 marks. No, it's not like that.
Right. Ma'am, regarding NMIMS, there is a question. So I had already answered it in the Q&A, but a lot of students are asking and maybe they're a little confused. NMIMS will be accepting only the first attempt of NMAT, right? So just want you to confirm that once for everybody, because students have been asking that repeatedly.
Yes, that is a management decision. So we're only accepting the first attempt.
See, here, Prasad, I would like to say that different colleges may have a different approach. So students should go to the college websites and check which college is accepting what. NM, they should go check NM website. It's very clearly mentioned over there what they are accepting. Same way other colleges, they can go and check over there clearly. In fact, somebody asked, do we need to pay the college application also, or college application fee? Because okay, so let me just explain here. When you are filling up NMAT registration form and choosing suppose 5 schools or 10 schools, NMAT will share your score to the schools. But if you want to take admission in those schools, you have to go individually on their websites and apply. You have to fill up their applications. We will not fill your application in those colleges. We will just send the marks. These two are two different things.
Just to add to what Swapnil ma'am has said here, they have to really go through the information and instructions given on the college website. Everything is very clearly and plainly stated there.
Right. Madhvi ma'am, there are some questions on the healthcare pharma programs. So, if there's anything that you want to share on
If I could take a look at those questions, or you could sound me out on
Yeah,
what
the
they
questions
are.
were related to information about the program plus the cutoffs for MBA pharma.
Okay, so cutoffs is something that is not on the table right now for me to share. But healthcare, of course, is a very nascent course, and the admission is done separately, differently. It's not part of the NMAT, application process via NMAT. So their admissions are done separately. And pharma, of course, they need to check on the website, because being the program chairperson for the MBA core, the information on pharma should have it from other credible sources. I mean, I could just tell you that the program is good. Apart from that, whatever substantive information they need, they should check the website, or maybe contact NMIMS office.
There's a question from Vishaka, so I'm going to answer it, whether there's any sectional cutoff. So the sectional cutoffs for different programs and campuses at NMIMS are different. The information again is available in public. You can search and find it out. For other institutions which accept the NMAT score, there may or may not be sectional cutoffs. Again, you need to go to the college websites, respective college websites, and check it out. There's a question from Rupanga. So this is regarding NMIMS. So when you take the interviews, what are the qualities that you look for in an experienced candidate?
All right. So when we say experience, we are looking at contribution by this person to the organization. So typically questions are asked on performance, questions are asked about feedback, questions are asked about what he learned or what she learned during his or her tenure in the organization. So anything that the person has personally contributed to the organization would earn brownie points. And if there has been a new learning, then questions are asked basis that. Not just that, then there are a few hygiene questions that we ask based on the work experience. So it's not just about, say, the number of months that the person has worked. So a person may have worked for a company for 31 months, but if he or she has worked within that limited circle, with the same vertical, not really grown, then those 31 months do not really mean much in terms of evaluation or credit earned for. But a person who has maybe spent just 16 months in an organization, but has grown in terms of learning and knowledge and experience and contribution and performance, then definitely that student stands higher in terms of work ex. And that's how we evaluate it. So there are certain parameters that we apply. Also, what is important, Prasad, is how these students articulate what they have learned. So along with the work ex, there's a certain finesse, there's a certain sophistication, there's a certain level of maturity. Of course, this is a tall order because we are looking at what, 24, 25-year-olds. But if we need to look at the talent, okay, and the expertise, then that needs to be communicated well.
Right. Thanks, ma'am. There's a question on NMAT. So the question says, is previous NMAT attempt score also visible to colleges where we are applying, or only the current year attempt is visible? I think that's
only current year, because the validity of the score is only for a year.
Yeah, because when you register for NMAT, the information that you had submitted last year, let's say if you had created the account, that is stored. So I think that is where the question is coming from. So whether the previous attempt scores are recorded in.
No, they are recorded. They would be, definitely we would be having with us, and then we would have shared to those schools also if you have given the NMAT exam last year also. But when this year you are filling up a registration form, only this year attempt scores will be shared with the with schools, not the last year ones.
Right. Yeah, again, for the benefit of everybody, there was a question on whether you need to apply to NMIMS before you first take your first attempt of NMAT. That's correct. You have to complete your NMIMS application before you take the first attempt of NMAT. That may or may not be the case for other institutions. So you need to go to their websites and check that out. Regarding placement opportunities, I can see a lot of questions, but as we have already discussed this, please go to the college website, check out the placement reports where you'll get detailed information on who the recruiters are and what sort of roles are there. And there's a question from Sahil who has asked like an overview on the HR program. So because it is run as a separate offering, so if you can just talk a little bit about that.
Right. So the HR program is rated as the second best in the country, and we have a very limited intake. So we get the creme de la creme, and it's one our HR and OB program is it's a very intensive kind of program. They look at a whole range of new skill set associated with HR. So right now the perception is it's just about human resources and managing people. So it's not that. Okay, so there are many new topics in on the horizon which are dealt with, many subject areas that are coming up. Research orientation is also something that we look at in an HR professional. So it is a very enriching experience for people who join the HR program, as our alumni will also tell you.
Swapnil ma'am, there's a question regarding NMAT again, whether geometry is there in the syllabus or not. Whatever is there in the official guide index, those are the topics that are tested on the NMAT. So ma'am, do you want to talk a little bit on that?
Okay, so there's a long list of topics which is given in official guide, and I would request all of you to please go to the website and you will be able to figure out whether this topic is there or not there, or removed or continuing. I don't see any topic we have removed this year. It is same in last 3-4 years, whatever topics are going on. The same number of topics are going. So please go and read carefully what all we are covering, what all topics you need to prepare for.
There's another question regarding NMAT itself on the free mock that you offer. The free official practice test that is offered. Yeah. So the question is whether somebody has to complete the payment of the NMAT form, then only the test is visible, or it is visible without that?
No, you have to complete the registration form, pay the fee, and then only you will be able to give that free attempt for the NMAT.
Again, there's a question regarding freshers versus experienced candidates. I think a lot of students have that concern that they're freshers, so they stand a chance against people who have experience. So Madhvi ma'am, do you want to talk a little bit on this?
Yeah. So let me tell you, there are marks reserved for work experience. Now, having said that, it's not as if the people with work experience always get an edge over freshers. So like I told you, the minute we start asking about the work experience, chances are that the way in which we score them, this particular candidate, if he does not, or if he hasn't done something very great in his during his tenure in an organization, he or she can even get 0 out of 10, right? Whereas a fresher could ace the interview. I also see another question where this fresher has a concern that if he has consistency in his scores, say 75% plus throughout, but no extracurricular activities because of the pandemic, etc., so on and so forth. So that need not be a setback, right? So the interviews are designed to elicit information that points to how or what kind of potential this student would have in the program. So let all those present here please understand that we are not looking at who you are, we are looking at who you can become. The moment we see a spark in the candidate, okay, it could be an answer to a particularly difficult question, it could be the way in which the student shows resilience during a stress situation like an interview. So you are being measured on much more than your background, your work ex, your acads. Your behavior in the interview is so telling. It's like a comment on the kind of potential you have. All right. So the confidence with which you come to the interview, also integrity. Let me give you an example now that we're talking about interviews and now that people have so many concerns about the way people are being evaluated. So we had this student who was who said that he's into reading and that he loves to read books. Now, when you probe further, evidently he's been coached to give textbook responses and come up with the names of a very very popular kind of literary classic. And he says my favorite poet is Rabindranath Tagore. And I say, wow, where the mind is without fear. And he says, no, I don't know that one. Now, this puts a very big question mark on the integrity of the candidate. I don't even ask him the next question. I say, okay, we are done here. So students who come with all that coaching and all that posturing and textbook responses, we have our own ways of filtering them out of the system. So believe me, coaching will only help you gain a little confidence, but it will not get you admitted to a premium institute. Okay, so I think students should, of course, go for training because it's something that is the done thing here, but they should fall back on their true instincts, and they should reflect whatever they believe in and are inspired by, rather than coming up with these prepared answers and being worried about whether we keep coming back to the same concern, right, Prasad? Because many questions are centered on that. uh, I am a fresher, so maybe I don't stand a chance. I'm from the arts faculty, so how would I really ace an interview for MBA? So all these concerns actually do not, they're not very very grave concerns in my personal experience.
All right. Thanks, Matt. So there's a question for Swapnil ma'am on, again, it's a very technical question. It's interesting to see how much people think. So there's a question which says, anonymous question. Could a college consider my NMAT score if I register for it, but I have not selected that college in the institution? So again, let me explain the question. So what the student is saying is, I am filling the NMAT form, and in the 5 college list that I have to indicate, I have not given a particular name, but I go ahead and apply to that college. Then what happens?
We will not be sharing the candidate score to that college.
Correct.
Candidate definitely can take out the score, because after 48 hours, after audit, the score will be published, and he can take out the score and then he can take it to the college. If he has not selected that school while filling up the registration form, from our side, that score will not be pushed to that college at all. And only those colleges who are accepting NMAT, that list is available on the registration form, and they have to choose from that.
And regarding question from Madhvi ma'am, anything particular with respect to students who have had some sort of a gap? Because sometimes students have this concern that during engineering, maybe there was a subject that they failed in, or there was a drop year.
Correct.
How
So
do you
yes, we do ask questions on gaps because we are very interested in knowing what they did during the gap. Now, our experience of last year and the year before that is, especially during the pandemic, is people have taken gaps for certain personal reasons, for professional reasons, and that is admissible. It's just that if a person has just sat at home for 2 years and has been preparing for CAT and NMAT, then that is a kind of concern, because then I would like to know what else he has done apart from preparing for a management exam. Now, if you are taking 2 years out of your life to prepare for one entry level exam, then I would have questions on your level of preparedness for something as rigorous as an MBA program in NMIMS, right? If the gap is because of some personal emergency or a family issue, then we ask deeper questions to find out whether this candidate is telling us the truth. And we of course have our own subtle ways of cross verifying and doing some background checking. So a gap is, it's a concern, yes, because it makes us ask more questions, but it need not be a serious deterrent in selection. So I can put that concern at rest.
Another question to Swapnil ma'am. So this is on the entire Windows concept. So a lot of people have this thing that NMAT tends to get difficult as you progress. So a lot of questions are related to, should I take it in October? Should I take it in November? I've heard that it will become difficult in December. Window-wise, progressively it gets difficult and all sorts of things. So do you want to share your
not
thoughts?
at all. Not at all. The difficulty level, even if the day window is opening on 10th of October, the day you appear, 10th of October, The difficulty level is saying if you give the exam on the last day, that is 19th of December, the difficulty level is saying. The same, what I should say, the blueprint or the rubric will work no matter which month you're giving, October, November, or December.
Okay. I think in the interest of time, we'll be closing the session in 1 or 2 minutes. Some last minute thoughts from both of you. You have been in the industry for a really long time. So any advice to the aspiring candidates?
Well, from my side, I will only say that please prepare well. First, you go to website, read, understand the topics, understand the colleges which are accepting, choose wisely, and prepare well. And for NMAT, if you will see, it is a speed which will matter at that time, because 108 questions and 120 minutes. So speed is what matter over there. Difficulty level is there, definitely. The same as the other exams, but speed also matters. So please practice well and then give your exam. And I would like to say all the best to all the candidates who are appearing in this webinar. Ma'am.
Yes. So for me, of course, I think what they really want is uh, how to appear for the interview and how to get selected, okay, in whichever institute or whatever their choices. So it's a question of combination of confidence and humility, right? And that's a very acceptable kind of combination, because you know that you have prepared well and you will do well so that you're selected. But at the same time, a false show of bravado or overconfidence sometimes spoils the entire performance of the candidate. And also, please do not fib. Never ever fib in an interview, because that does not absolutely go down well anywhere, right? So do not think you can game the system by coming up with certain smart responses which will impress the interviewers. And that's such a wrong position to take, especially for something that you have so much at stake for. You're so involved in your preparation, and then you go and do this smart eleki thing in an interview. So that is something that absolutely must be not done, okay, in your preparatory stage. Even if your peers tell you, even if your elders tell you, just trust your own instincts. As a last note, you must be very clear about why you're doing an MBA. The moment we feel that you are very vague, that you're confused, and you just want to do an MBA because, right? That is something that will not get you selected, but that is something that is not good for you personally and professionally also. You should have a very clear idea of your career graph and why you're doing something. So that is a kind of dadiji advice that I can give them at the end of the day. Right. So, and all the best, of course.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, for both of you. I think it has been a pleasure and privilege to host both of you in this particular webinar. Thank you so much for joining and sharing insights on both NMAT and NMIMS. I'm definitely confident that this has helped students in terms of getting understanding of the intricacies of the process and how they can work towards taking the NMAT and applying to NMAT. So thank you so much everyone for joining. Wish all of you all the best. We have a session planned on the 2nd October on NMAT, the preparation part of it. So we'll be talking about the individual sections, etc. So this is an IMS only webinar. I'll be very happy if students join that because there are a lot of questions on the individual sections and we'll be answering them during that. So yeah, thank you so much for joining and wish all of you all the best. Once again, thank you Madhvi ma'am, thank you Swapnil ma'am for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Prasad.